Hi everyone. Welcome back. A long break, um, for various reasons, of which you possibly can tell that things have changed and various people have moved into different rooms and different places and stuff has been shifted around. We've had long periods where everybody was on laptops, and I think now, other than the fact that Kessie's on a laptop because that is Kessie's main computer, um, we are now, all in different places, different locations, and at different computers with different setups and everything else. So,
I'm not.
you're not, and
I'm
Becky's
still here.
technically not moved location, but moved all furniture in that space in the last 48 hours. So. Yeah, there's been a heck of a lot of stuff changing and going on, and various bits and pieces. And yeah, it's been busy. So we've not been able to do as much. We've certainly not been able to record. A number of us have become ill. Various other things that have happened. Some of us are still ill, coughing away there. So yeah, it's been a busy few weeks, which is why we've not been around for a while. I honestly, if I'm brutally honest, I'm not even sure what episode number we're on. We're on something. For the next one, I'll check it back up again and just figure it out. But I think it might be something
70
like
something.
73, 75. It's around that sort of number. So we're bimbling on. But our mad tech guru there, who's drastically searching for what episode we've released, I think, and trying to have a look at it. This is the one and only announcement that I do have for this, is we are recording today on a certain someone's birthday. The youth that is JJ, because he is one of our youths, because he is the second youngest.
This is true.
It's his birthday today. So yeah, for the next two episodes, guys, he's the target of choice. So we'll we'll sort all that. It's birthday. We're allowed to do that sort of thing. We're allowed to go for you. So yeah, happy birthday, sir. I hope you've
Oh,
had
sir,
at
I
least.
work for a living.
Oh dear.
Fastest sentence ever.
Did you
Episode
have to work
74.
today? Did you have to work on your birthday, or
Yes,
did
I
you
did.
take it off? Oh well.
I had
So
Monday off.
you had Monday off. Well,
So I had a nice long weekend.
that's fair enough then. More than fine. Right. So yes, It's been a while. Obviously, we've been doing a whole bunch of stuff with in here so far with the Abomination vaults. We're going through the normal processes. We are still on Foundry. We're still all the rest of it, even though I'm having issues with our server at the moment. It is working enough that we can play. It's all the stuff that happens in the background that isn't working as well. So if you hear me swearing, I know it's not normal. I try to avoid doing so on these things, but it's probably because something's popped up on my screen that I can't deal with at this moment in time. But I'm gonna have to. So we'll see how far we get before the whole thing breaks down. In either case, so we are on here. We've got the Foundry music that's been piped through because we've got the official Pathfinder Paizo version of the Abomination vaults. Loads and loads of other bits and pieces that we have got on here. But we're going to pretty much go into it. I've been kind of looking forward to this, although goodness knows if I can remember anything that's about to happen to these guys. We'll see. I know roughly where they are, and I know roughly what's coming up, but whether or not I can actually remember how on earth I was planning on playing this is beyond me. So we will swap over to the game screen right there. And you can see our wonderful erstwhile characters are still in the supply room that they went into and took a number of healers kits and various alchemical reagents from outside of this room. Moz has wandered further down the corridor just to check out what's going on there and keep everybody safe. And Nephi and Invar are kind of loitering in the corridor. So, guys, for this sort of moment for you, you have got two options ahead of Moz. There is a door 25 foot down the corridor directly in front of you, but there is also a small T-junction with an extra route that heads up to the north. 5 foot in front of Mosran. So yeah, that's kind of where you guys have got up to, and that's more or less what we have got now.
Trying to remember if we left ourselves a plan anywhere. I don't think we did.
Right.
There's a whole lot of filming
I
going on.
I think
I know there's various horrors down in that big chamber amphitheatre thing down the far end, far south. I think we're trying to have a look around everywhere else first.
yeah.
Yeah. So the one thing you do know is that the route down the very long sort of central corridor of this floor, you do know that at the very end of that corridor you saw two basilisks sort of lying in wait. Less lying in wait, more sort of plodding around doing their own thing near their previously, by the looks of things, petrified food source.
Is that literal petrification with basilisks?
It is literal
Yes.
petrification with
Yeah.
basilisks, yeah. They actually feed on the stone, and effectively, as they eat it, it turns back into flesh. So it's their way of preserving their food.
It's not preserving at all.
Lovely. So maybe not those then.
You know what? This is a very short door. I'm gonna have a listen.
You can have a
Listen.
listen at the door. Okie dokie.
Yep.
Are you still scouting though?
I am. Yes.
Sneaking.
Sneaking.
Seeking.
Okay. Whatever's behind this door is not really making any efforts to hide the fact that it's in there. You can hear what appears to be almost like snuffling noises, almost like a kind of you'd think some sort of, like a dog was in there, and then this pitter patter of feet. But with your training and stuff that you know from you've done lots of wilderness wanders and dealing with breaches into houses before, because this is the kind of training that you've gone through. Even though there's a snuffling kind of noise, the sound from in the room is almost like bare feet slapping on the floor, not what you'd expect from dogs, and it's two-legged creature moving around.
Fleshy feet, not paws.
Fleshy feet, not paws. But it every now and again it stops and
Yeah, I'll step back and whisper this back to Invar.
Can I step forward and see if there's any spiritual stuff in there?
Spirity woo woo.
Spirity woo.
Yeah.
Let's do the old. Can I get a measure? 30 foot. I believe it's 30-foot range, isn't it? On that. Okay, dokie. I shall roll the old dice for you. You've got this sudden problem. You reach out with all of your senses, and it's almost like turning the dial up on a radio. All of a sudden it gets to a point where it suddenly just becomes far too loud. And while you're not sure you're detecting any spirits, your senses have kind of gone into shock because of how weird that sensation was.
Oh, good. Okay. I will step back out and relay that as well, that it is definitely funky and problematic. I just can't tell why.
Just looking up down. Moz is just looking up down the corridor and goes, "Well, where's Phelan gone? Have we left him behind?"
No.
Ah, there's the snuffling I was expecting. So, this door or try the other one? In fact, is it
Whichever way
even
we
locked?
go,
This
we're
door?
gonna have to. We're gonna do every door eventually, anyway.
I was opening
You're
and
not
saying,
wrong.
hi, humanoid and humanoid adjacent resources.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a plan. So, Invar, you seem to be right next to the door. Do you want to open it?
Sure. I mean, no, not at all, but I will.
Okay.
Ready my spear.
Can I
You
do anything protective with this character first? Hang on.
Halberd, rather.
No, because shield is like 6 seconds, and we know that doesn't work because we're not in combat.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
You open the door. Floor to this room contains several open square pits, one in each of the 3 alcoves to the north, and 2 large pits in the middle of the room. A dais at the west end of the room contains what appears to be some sort of stone throne with 2 rusty levers jutting from the floor next to it. Now, in addition to that, 2 roughly spherical, fleshy, rubbery looking balls with 2 legs sticking out of the bottom, a massive gaping maw in the centre with a long tongue sticking out of it, and multiple eyes on the top of the round central body. And yes, the 2 people that are Warhammer people are kind of I can see the look on your faces, because inside this room are 2 of these things.
Twigs!
Love it.
Princess!
And as soon as the
They're
door
cute.
opens, they both look in your direction and start running at full speed towards you.
Because of course they do. Yep.
Because of course they do. We're going to go into a little bit of combat here. So let me run up a little bit of the old music for the versatile combat music, which we can do by doing that and then stopping that. And we're going to do a little bit of rolling for initiative. So let's very quickly pause all of this recording and we'll get back to you in a second. The recording, right. We're back. I've rolled my initiative. Let's go for everybody else's. I know you can see numbers in there at the moment. That is unfortunately just the way the system works. We're now actually going to sort this all out. So, Neffy.
20 plus 11 plus 1, so what's that? 32?
32, yeah. Inva.
9 on the dice plus 10 for 19, please.
Okay. Phelan.
A mighty 17.
A mighty 17. Okay, and Moz.
17 by rolling a 3.
Oh dear.
You and me both.
I kind of thought that this would be very much in your favour after my rolls, but the only the only thing I can say is at least Neffy is going first.
I can't see anything from where I am, I'm not gonna lie.
Nope, you can't. That's definitely true.
So if I went 5. Ah! Oh god, I still can't see.
Now you can see some.
Okay, right. I don't want to go in the room. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'll shoot that one.
Okay, so the one. Yep, sure, absolutely. Yeah. So it's the one on the right hand side of the room. Right. So that was one move action,
And then shoot.
and then shoot.
That is a 11 plus 14, so maths. 11 plus 14, 25?
11 plus 14 is 25. Yes.
Okay.
Made me think for a second there. That is going to be a hit. Yeah, that is going to be a hit. Just a hit, but that is a hit.
I can't remember. Do I do something because I've rolled first? 'Cause it was
Right,
flat-footed.
because it is flat-footed to you, which means you get your sneak attack. So you are looking at your weapon, which is your +1 striking hand crossbow. So because it is striking, it's going to do 2d6 damage. In addition to that, because it is flat-footed, you are going to do your sneak attack damage as well. So that is 1d6 additional damage, but because you are 5th level, it becomes 2d6 additional damage. So effectively, you're doing 4d6.
4d6.
Now, just as a small note, the naming conventions, obviously with remastered, are changing. Technically, flat-footed doesn't exist anymore. It's now called off guard. There is absolutely no way I'm going to remember to call it off guard or on my players for a very, very long time. So if we say flat-footed, that's just because we're used to the term.
9 points of damage.
On 4d6? Wow, okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's only slightly under average.
Yeah, true.
And then I'm gonna reload.
You're going to reload. Okay. So, that one you have just shot.
Actually, wait, before I reload, no. I would have dropped my crossbow and pulled my rapier, because it's going to get close to me, so I just dropped the crossbow on the floor.
That's fair enough. And you are right, it is indeed going to get close to you, because it is now its turn. Okay, so it's going to, for its first action, it's going to move over to you. So it kind of bounces around the space in between you, and it's gonna come over to here, bouncing its way over to you. It's then going to try and bite you with its jaws.
Goody.
So, a 19 on the dice. A 19 on the dice with a plus 15. So it's a 34 to hit.
That's critical.
That would be a critical hit, yes. So you are going to take 7, 14, 28 points of damage.
Goody.
In addition to that, you note that its jaws appear to be full of rather green, sizzling, hissing kind of liquid. And you are going to take 1d6 persistent bleed damage.
Oh, God.
So, persistent damage. 1d6. Acid. And that is now on your character. So that's its second action. And for its third action, it will turn and spot that Inva's in the door, and it's going to try and spit at Inva. This acid comes flying out towards you. So
just rude.
12 on the dice plus 9 for a 21.
Hits.
Hits. So you are going to take 3 points of acid damage.
Okay.
You also have 1d6 persistent acid damage. And Moz, you are in the splash zone because it acts like a bomb. So you are going to take 2 points of acid damage as well from the splash. As is Inver, because it was a direct hit, so you take an additional 2 as well. That is all 3 of its actions. It is now Inver's turn.
It is. I take damage first.
No, end of your turn, because you can choose to use one of your actions to make it easier for you to remove the persistent effect. So using it one action would turn it from a 15 to get rid of the acid at the end of your turn to a 10.
Sure. Let's assume I'm going to do that.
Okay.
And in the meantime, that hurt. There's 2 of them, aren't there?
There are, yes.
How damaged does the one that Neffy took a swipe at look?
Not very.
Okay. 30 feet with a range of... Sorry, with a radius of... 10-foot burst, okay. Why can I not make this pick up the corner I want? So what I'm trying to do is put 10-foot burst on there. Because then I should get both of them. And also Neffy.
You would get neither of them because of the way that the 10-foot burst works.
Right. Stupid thing. Okay, I'll stick it over somewhere over here where it will get the one next to Neffy, but not Neffy then, please.
Okay, so it's on a corner, isn't it? So that would work there.
Cool. Right, so that's going to be sound burst.
Mm-hmm. So sound burst is a fortitude save for my fella of a 21. Okay, so with the old dicey rolly, I get a 3 on the dice for a 16, so I fail.
Excellent. And that is, what is it now? 2d10 of damage?
2d10, by the looks of things. And
yes.
on a failure, I will be deafened for a round as well.
You will. Right, 2d10. There's 1d10. Where's the other one gone? For 10 points of damage.
Okay. That is a pretty reasonable amount of damage. Now, the only downside to that, let me just check your spell, Soundburst. Oh, okay, no, that's fine. So, interestingly enough, I can't be deafened because I'm immune to auditory effects. Obviously, deafened is an auditory effect. But this is sonic damage, not auditory damage. So I still take the damage because it's a burst of sound that hits like a wave. But I can't be deafened because I don't have ears.
Fair. Yep.
So we'll whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Let's just put him back in and rolled in the right place anyway. So I will remove that deafened condition because I can't be affected by auditory stuff anyway, but I will still take 10 points of damage. Okay, all
Does
sorted.
it look any more bruised now?
It looks a bit more bruised now, yes. Okay, so Inver, you spent an action to try and get rid of this damage. So the first thing is you are going to take, I don't know why I rolled it up there, let's ignore that and roll it there. Oh, it's the same number anyway. You take 2 points of acid damage from your persistent acid damage. You now roll a recovery or flat check. So you need a 10 or higher because you used an action to try and improve.
13.
13. You are no longer affected by persistent acid damage.
And
Phelan.
then, Moz, please go past me when you get a chance. Please move in front of me.
Phelan, it is
Okay.
your turn. Yeah.
Right. So I can hear some sort of twang, boom, sizzle, nyag.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have a bit of a wander past here.
Yep. Unfortunately, the
And
way
then realize,
yeah.
and then realize we can't see anybody anyway. And then largely wonder what the hell we're going to do. Because I can't see.
Yeah, can't see anything because of the shape of the corridor.
Yes, and the way we like blocking up doorways so that monsters have got plenty of room to get at us, and we're choke pointed to not get at them.
You can go past me just like Moz will.
Maybe.
Right.
But enjoying my meat shield.
So noting
It's not going to last very long.
Noting Moz is still a bit damaged, we'll drop a 2-action heal on him and
Thank you.
possibly eject a cat beast. So have 13 hit points back, Moz.
Now, I believe Olrin is of such that if you want to have him move or attack, he does get 1 action for it if you don't.
He does, and he's... And is it additional movement to move through someone's space?
It's no additional no additional movement to move through people.
Right. In that case, Olrin's going to wander along here and see what the hell's going on.
Yep.
I am not going to make myself an obstacle to the bitey badger.
Okay. So Moz, have you taken your healing? Oh, hello.
Are you freezing up?
Yeah, I'm freezing up, am I? Okay. Must have just been my internet connection being a bit dodgy for a moment there. Anyway, we're fine. Moz, have you taken your healing?
I have.
You have. Okay, it is your turn.
I would like to close the door. No.
Not while I'm in there, thank you.
Am I gonna move? I can move a distance. I should have read this earlier. 20 feet. Okay. God damn it. 5, 10, 15. Sure. 20.
Okay, no attack of opportunity, so that works fine.
Yep. And then he says, reading your stats, I would like to stab it in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Going very carefully, like, excuse me, come through. Complete with sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
It's going in the dice jail. So that's a natural 1.
Remember, you have got hero points. Just a reminder.
These things explode, so I don't like them, but I'm going to hero point that, because...
Oh, I've paused again. What's happening?
16 for 20.
20.
Correct,
20.
total 20.
Okay. That, because of the flanking, is a hit.
Yay!
Is flanking still called flanking?
Technically, it's never been flanking. It was flat-footed, which isn't flat-footed anymore. It's off guard. There you go. Oh god.
Am I the only one not frozen?
I can
don't
hear
know.
you. I can hear you, but the cameras are going bonkers and pausing. So, yeah,
I felt frozen.
I'm getting
Maybe I have.
occasional freeze as well.
yeah, it's a weird one. Okay.
Hang on, I'm not back into Foundry yet either.
That's okay. Don't worry. I can at least introduce the fact that we exist again. So yes, we've just had a whole bunch of fun with Discord. So we are back. We are back, and I'm vaguely regretting not using Skype. But then I realised just how bad Skype is. So let's just carry on. Right. What we were talking about? We were talking about Moz having hit on a 20 because you are flanking, and technically flat-footed doesn't exist, but it does mean that it's off guard. So let's go with that. Right.
I rolled for damage, and that was
All of
11 on
it.
the dice plus 4, so 15.
15 points of damage. Okay. This thing is looking less happy than it was.
Then
But I wouldn't
will do it again.
Go on then.
Can you launch it down the hole?
Brutish shove can get it towards the hole if I can connect. So let's hope.
Well, the only thing I would
All
say
bone
is
dice,
remember
all
your
bone dice.
brutish shove would put it out of... Oh, no, it wouldn't put it out of range because you've got a polearm.
I do. It would create a bit of space.
So you're going for brutish shove then?
I am, and that's not going to be particularly wonderful. That's an 8 on the dice plus a number. 8 plus 11, so 19.
That is a miss.
Silly. That's me done. 1, 2, 3. Move. Stab, stab.
Move, stab, stab. That means that the next thing to go is the other one. So it is going to... It bounds along. It's going to move through your attack of opportunity range, Moz. So, do you want to take that?
I might as well. Come on, other metal dice. I don't trust the GM when they ask that question. That's a
You
lot
then
better.
get-
That's 14 plus 16 for a total of 30, please.
That is a hit, but only a hit.
Damn it.
It then reconsiders its life choices.
It did a little there, I have to admit.
Only I got one more point. That would have been enough. I think. Maybe. Who knows? That's better. That's a 9 and 10 for 19 plus 4. So that's 23.
23 points of damage. Okay, so as it comes bounding in, you take a good old chunk out of this thing. Because of that, as it moves towards you, it's going to make a leaping action and try and shove you as part of its movement. So it's going to make an athletics attempt against your fortitude DC.
It's my best one, so it's plus 12. So let's go.
So plus 12, did you say? So I need a 22.
Yep. I don't need to roll anything, do I?
No, you don't. That is only a 17, so it kind of bounces off of you. You get this kind of sensation of its rubbery, weird skin hitting you. It's going to, therefore, because that didn't work, it is going to then try and bite you. Just because. So that was an attack, so it does go at a penalty. So we'll go with a 15 on the dice with a plus 10 for a 25.
Just 23.
Okay, so you are going to take 13 points of damage from the bite itself. And you are now suffering from persistent bleed damage. Bleed damage?
Ew.
Acid damage.
Oh, hold up.
Again,
I was gonna say, does bleed I have
1d6.
something for?
No. So you are now acidated. But that is the end of the round. it is now Neffy's turn.
Okay. I'm just going to try and stab the one that I shot.
I mean, seems reasonable.
Mhm.
Hang on. Let me find this stabby stab. So, am I? Because it's got. I can't remember. Hang on.
Because you are flanking, it is off guard. That means that you.
Thank you.
There you go. You'll still be able
But
to do
that's
all of
you
the fun
adjust
stuff.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh,
So,
I missed that.
that's going to be a hero point because that was a 1. That is a 13 plus 14.
For 27.
27? Yeah.
That is a hit. So
it's just the 2d6.
just a hit. So you will do. You've got a striking rapier, 2d6 plus 1, and then an additional 2d6 sneak attack damage.
Oh, I get a sneak attack as well?
Oh yeah, because it's off guard. Sneak attack in this is always if the target is off guard, flat-footed, whatever you want to call it.
That's better. 17 points of damage.
17. Okay, yep, that is absolutely better than you've done so far. You still have 2 actions left.
I'm going to stab at it again and hope I hit.
Mm-hmm.
15 plus 9, so 24.
That hits.
So this time it's just 2d6.
No, it's the 4d6 plus 1.
Time.
Every time the target is off.
I'm going to take it. 12 points of damage.
12 points damage. Okay, you have 1 action left. It is still alive.
Try and hit it again. For a nat 20.
I mean, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. That definitely will. Well, actually, no. What is your total? So nat 20 plus what? Is it plus 4?
Plus 4. Yes.
Okay, so yes, it will be a crit. It will be a crit.
Right.
So
what am I rolling?
4d6 plus 1, double the whole lot. Oh, and because it's a rapier, I believe. Because of that, you'll also get an additional d8 on top of that at the end as well. So it's 4d6 plus 1, double all of that, and then add a d8 on top.
Okay, 10, 15, 16, 17 doubled.
Is that with the plus 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so 17 doubled will give you 34, plus a d8.
Plus another 2.
Okay, so 36 points of damage. The first one that has been bumping around and bounding around towards you just drops to the floor. You hit it 3 times, including basically stabbing it straight through the eye. It doesn't look like it's going to move again. Yeah, that one had its day. Now, you do need to make, because you are suffering from persistent acid damage, you need to make, firstly, you'll take a d6 damage, you'll take 2 more points of acid damage.
Yeah.
And then make a d20 roll. You want a 15 or higher.
Nope, 12.
You are still suffering from the persistent acid damage. Inva.
I don't wanna.
I mean, you can forfeit your turn if you want.
I mean, no. Huh. I might try. Oh no, I've got cantrips, haven't I? 15-foot cone. Can I get into that much space?
Your mic's just stopped working.
Sneezed
I
and the
can
mic
tell
had a
what was
persistence.
said. just from, you know, the amount
Yeah. No, it's not working. There was a weird crackle noise when you coughed, and it's just died. Okay, we're going to pause the recording so you can see if we get that sorted. Right
I
there.
don't have any of the other PF2 stuff.
Okay,
But that's a day.
yeah, another problem. Right, there we go. Okay, so Inver, it was your go before the mic got blown.
Gonna go in the bin, that might. So I was asking what a 15-foot cone would hit from where I am currently.
I mean everything pretty much. So if you did a 15-foot cone from there, you go from one of your corners. So you've either got that corner which would hit everyone, or that corner which would hit everybody but the creature.
Oh, excellent! Right. So if I put myself there and did it going that way, that would only get the creature, or would that then catch Moz as well?
Well, let me
have that corner. I'll put it on the top corner by the hole.
No, that would still get Moz, I'm afraid. Now, there is an option. Let me just think about it, because you don't have to do it in a straight line like that. You can, if I can figure out what the key is to do this. Because there is a key that allows you to rotate that, and then I'm fairly certain it works. So, have a look. Rotate is shift and scroll, or control and scroll. Okay, so if we do that, and then I go shift and... No, that didn't work, and neither is control and scroll. Why are you claiming such things? Ah, because it has to be drawn, that's why. Right, let me... so, from there, do it in that corner, do that, and then if we then did... Oh, are we going to be awkward? Well, no, because I can do that. Ha! So if you are there, then yes, you can.
Right, next question. Does it have to be centered from me, or can I drop it at range?
Almost always with cones, you have to be there, so...
I know, but it was worth a check. Okay, so I'm going to move for one here.
Yep.
And then I'm going to do Haunting Him.
Okay. So what's the roll?
DC 21 Fortitude, please.
DC 21 Fortitude. 13 on the dice with a 13 Fortitude save gives me a 26.
Okay, so that's going to... I now have a cone I can't put down. Oh, for God's sake.
It's alright, I'll sort it.
Thank you. Sorry, that was a succeed, I think, wasn't it?
That is a success, yes, for Haunting Him. So it's a basic save, so I will still take half damage.
Yes, which is... What am I rolling? 1d6 plus 4. Although this is Sonic, but so is the last one. So
Sonic is fine so long as it doesn't have the auditory trait. So if it has the auditory trait, I'm immune to it. Which it does.
Yeah, it has auditory and Sonic.
Yeah, so the reason why Soundburst worked is because Soundburst doesn't have the auditory trait.
Yeah.
This does. So as it goes off, you realise this creature does not appear to hear this hymn, and it has no effect on them.
I logically, Inval would have gone, oh, well, one of these works. Let's try what's essentially my less powerful version. What the hell? Oh, maybe, I don't know. Can I figure out it's because it's not got ears?
You can make a guess, but without rolling a natural knowledge check, you wouldn't know for certain. Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, I learned a thing. Cool.
All right, Phelan's turn.
Right. Phelan is going to step up here behind where Olarin is, so I can actually see what the hell's going on. Nephew's looking a bit knackered.
Yeah.
Do with being hit, to be fair. That's just how she
So we'll cast a 2-action heal on Nephi for a grand total of 17 hit points.
Okay. Does Olorin want to do anything with his action?
No, Olorin thinks that thing, while it might be fun to play with,
It ain't gonna happen right now. Thank you very much.
no.
Okay, Moz.
Decisions. Sadly, I can't make Brutus shove my first action, so I'm just gonna have to plain old hit this thing and just stab it rather than slash at it. So
I mean, on a technicality, I will say this. While you can't make Brutus shove your first action, you could make a shove as your first action.
I've just rolled a 14. What would I have added to it to do the shove thing?
Athletics would be what you would what you would add. So you would be adding an 11.
That's not too bad. That's
okay.
25.
That is a 25, which would be enough to push it 5 foot with a shove action. I believe.
This is Westrun? No, this is Atari. Yeet.
You're going to do a shove. So with a success, you push your target back 5 foot. Afterwards, you can then stride after it. So you push this creature. Now there is a set of rules, just for things called forced movement. If your movement would cause you to occupy, moving into a space you can't occupy because either objects are in the way, you stop moving. However, you can occupy a ledge. So this thing gets shoved. Now, it's not got arms. So the option for grabbing an edge is not in its vocabulary. You shove this thing out into midair. For a brief number of seconds, its legs appear to be trying to gain traction on the thin air, at which point this ball with this grin just drops. After only a few seconds, you hear a sploosh noise from down below.
Is that a convenient water breaking its fall noise, or squig exploding like a ripe melon noise?
It sounded less like impact. It sounded a lot more like actually hitting water. However,
I will step.
You step and have a look. You see a small purple-green ball sitting in water about 55 foot down. Okay, that's roughly speaking the drop. It scrambles upright in this water, and you kind of notice it kind of looking around and then fixating on something to the north of the chamber. There is a kind of shrieking noise that comes from down below, at which point several heads, almost serpent-like in nature, but the size of, at least a small dog each, possibly, well, in fact, bigger than that, start snaking their way towards this thing. The creature, panicking, bounds up into the air at full might and bites one of the heads clean off. At which point, multiple other heads dive in from the side and rip this thing to shreds.
Okay. Useful object.
Don't go in the hole.
Effie, no hole.
Don't drop your bow down this one.
After a little bit of time, you see the necks and the heads retract, including the neck, which no longer has a head on it, starts pulling back as well. And then just this greenish blood starts to seep out from where the body remains in the water. What's left of it, anyway. That is the end of that combat encounter. Assign you a little bit of experience each.
Yay!
Can I roll to see if I know what the hell that was?
Which bits? Which bits do you want to know
All
about?
of it.
I specifically the multiple heads that went back away, because I'm worried this is either a Hydra or like a false Hydra or something, tangentially related.
Okay. So yes, you absolutely can make a check on that. Let me, in fact, roll for you. What is your best? You've got an Arcana of 10, Occultism 10, Religion 10, Society 10, and Nature of 8. Okay.
Not nature.
Okay. You have a think about it, and you kind of get your idea around what this creature looked like. Serpent-like heads. In fact, you remember seeing red frills coming off the side of the head. Body, the heads all seem to be working in unison. The neck of the one that got bit, you realise that it must have been cauterized when the bite came in by the acid, because you are convinced there is a Hydra just below you.
Can I also check?
Because at the end of the day, it's got lots of heads. They were all working together. That's kind of in the like fairly definitely that kind of thing.
I mean, Neffy, you're not sure, but it does sound like a reasonable assessment.
Let's not go down there. Let's figure out how to very much not be there ever.
What's his throne look like?
Okay, so the throne itself appears to just be a relatively simple stone throne. If you kind of have a good look over it, who wants to have a look over the throne?
I will have a look over the throne. Largely because I want to wander over there, sit on it, and say, "Bring me Solo and the Wookiee, and a cheeseburger."
Okay, so initially looking over it, it becomes very apparent that this does make a certain amount of sense, that these levers, that now you kind of get to them and you give them a little bit of a sort of play around with, they are rusted to the extent where you can't really get anything from them, but you are pretty much certain that it is indeed the palace of a certain Jabba the Hutt, because they do appear to be the things that would have normally activated these pits. And certainly by the looks of things, it is starting to look like this seems to have been some sort of judgment chamber, and that the equivalent of Rancors might well be the Hydra down below. Some sort of judgment room, some sort of setup like that. The alcoves don't ever appear to have had trapdoors. It may have been just a quicker way of, rather than goading somebody and pulling the lever, let's just kick them down the small flumes at the side that they know they're going to fall down, and we can do that relatively quickly and get a number of people down there without having to arrange them on pits that they're about to see open up. It's that kind of thing.
Right.
With a good look around, a number of you realise that actually the stone throne isn't just a throne. At the back of it, hidden away, is a secret compartment. Inside that secret compartment, you will find a number of fairly interesting things. The first thing you find is a 31 gold. Nice and simple, 31 gold. So let me just show you this loot box for a second. There you go. You should now see that has appeared on your screen. There should be a loot box just at the stone throne. So yeah. not entirely sure why, but it seems to have Neffy.
Neffy is invisible. Neffy's token cannot be seen.
Oh,
it's not here.
have I made you invisible somehow? No, you're visible.
No, you're visible.
Why am I turned?
You've just mouse wheeled on yourself.
Oh.
So
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was an option. But
yeah, it allows you to spin. For certain games that have facings, it's useful. But yeah, not a concern for me. So that's the first thing. 31 gold. If you want to drag that onto your party loot on your party sheet, you can do. Or you should be able to now. In addition, there are 2 other items in there. The first one is what appears to be some sort of crossbow bolt. And the second is a little bit weird. It looks like a scale off of some sort of lizard or reptilian type creature, potentially. So I'm going to let people do the rolls themselves for this. The first one, the bolt, you can do any of the 4 magic identification skills. So Arcana, Nature, Occultism, or Religion. If you roll that now and tell me what your results are, or we'll go through each person one at a time. So Neffy.
Occultism, and I'm just checking what my plus is. I think it's...
Your Occultism plus is 11.
Yeah, so I did 19 plus 11.
Okay, so a 30. All right, fair enough. Let's start on the 30. Moz.
Arcana 22 total.
Okay. Phelan.
Nature 31.
Nature 31. And Inva.
Rounding it out, religion 24.
24. Okay, all of you figure all of this out. It's a relatively common magic item. This is what is known as a climbing bolt. There is a very fine thread wrapped around the bolt. When you fire the bolt and hit a solid surface, the twine unwinds and turns itself into a 50-foot long rope. Which is securely fastened to whatever you've hit.
Useful.
Okay, so again, that is now visible in the box, so you can drag it over. The other item, please make another roll. And we'll go down the same run again.
No, not so good this time. 18 on occultism.
18, okay. Moz?
26 on Arcana.
26 on Arcana. Phelan?
19 on Nature.
19 on Nature. And Inva?
24 on religion.
Okay, so everybody apart from Neffy gets this one. This is the first time, I think, in this game that we have encountered a talisman. Some of you have seen these in other games that I've run for you, but and in fact some people in that game can make them, I think. These are small trinket style items, effectively tiny little things. You can attach them to specific objects and activate them. It can sometimes take an action, it might be free, it might be a lot, but when you activate them, they give you a bonus or an effect once, and then they burn out. They're completely gone. In this case, this is a dragon turtle scale. Okay, it is affixed to your armor, and you would envisage for one action to activate it. When you do, so long as you are an expert in athletics, the scale will give you a swim speed equal to half your normal land speed. And that's, yeah. So that's your 2 items. They are in the loot thing on there. If you drag them onto your party loot, they will appear in the party loot unless somebody wants to take them.
Speaking of party loot, there's a wand of heal level 2 and a wand of summon animal. given that Invar can drop wands, can drop heal as well as I can, do you want to take the wand of heal? Spread out some healing among the party.
Yeah. That would be useful.
And unless we have an arcanist who wants to summon animal wand, I'll grab that. Because you can have multiple wands, you just can't zap a wand more than once per day.
Correct.
Right?
Well, you can in fact zap a wand more than once per day, but any time after the one free charge, it can effectively burn the wand out and make it unusable. A wand will effectively recharge itself every single morning to allow you to use it again that once, but you can overdo it. You can use the overcharge ability, and if you do that, I believe it's like a flat check. If you fail the flat check, the wand becomes inert and will never ever work again.
Humour me. Where do I find the loot thing in?
So, go on then.
It's not where I thought it was.
You see, with on the party on the actors tab, where it says the party, there's a folder and then a document.
Yeah.
Click the document.
So that opens up the party.
Yeah, and then there are 3 options across the top: overview, exploration, and stash.
Stash. Stash is the new one. Cool. Thank you.
That gives you everything that the party is carrying.
Whilst we're having a rummage, can I have a go?
I did ask
the
about
unusual liquid.
Oh, the unusual liquid. Has it been a day since
I had asked about the drain as well when we get to it.
Okay. So the unusual liquid, I believe, was something that you failed to identify from the previous room, and therefore you won't be able to until tomorrow.
Okay.
It takes 24 hours. The drain, you mean this thing here?
Yeah. Oh, the thing I'm stood next to.
It's a visual graphics effect and has no effect on there. There is nothing there. It's nothing clever. It's just the artwork on the room.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So it's been a little while. We're rusty. The technology has not been our biggest friend, but that has been an hour collectively with breaks. So we have managed an hour. That is where we're going to stop for now. I'm now going to then say, right, based on the time to this lot, what do we want to do? But that is at least, we've got an hour's worth of technology flawed recording. So it's nice to be back, guys. We will be slowly but surely getting back to something a little bit more consistent. We're all knocking out all of the flaws with the whole fun and games of moving house and Discord being weird and headsets exploding when people cough. It's been fun. It's been fun to be back.
Blue screen of death in there as well. Let's not forget my Windows 11 machine managed to blue screen of death.
Blue screen of death on
really possible.
Windows 11 blue screen of death. So we're going to stop there. It's been good to see you, and we'll see you in the next episode. But for now, let's have the players say goodbye.
Goodbye,
Bye,
players.
And we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.